and I hope y'all enjoy this. Let's continue with My Immortal by Tara Gilesbie. Chapter 24. Author's note. Preps, stop flammin' the story, you're just jealous. So, off. Okay, go to hell. Raven, thanks for the help. Well, we had deviation next, so I got to ask Professor Trevelry about the visions. Konnichiwa, everybody come in, said Professor Sinister in Japanese. She smelled at me with her gothic black lipstick. She's the coolest teacher ever. She had long, black hair with blood-red tips and red eyes. Her mom was a vampire. She's also half Japanese, so she speaks it and everything. She and Bloody Murray get along great. She's really young for a teacher. Today she was wearing a black leather top with red lace and a long gothic black ripped dress. We went inside the black classroom with pastors of Emily the Strong. I raised my hand. I was wearing some black nail polish with red pentagrams on it. What is it, Ebony? She asked. Hey, I love your nail polish. Where'd you get it? Hot Topic? Yeah, I answered. All the preps who didn't know what HT was gave me weird looks. I gave them the middle finger. Well, I have to talk to you about some things. When do you want to do it? How about now? She asked. Okay, I said. Okay, class. Dismissed every, Professor Trevelry said, and she let everyone go. Except for you, Brittany. She pointed at Brittany and some other preps. Please do exercise. Get it? 1 on page 3. Okay. I'm having lots of visions, I said in a worried voice. I'm so worried. Is Draco going to die? Well, she gave me a black crypto ball to lock in. I looked at it. What do you see? She asked. I said, I saw a black gothic skull and a pentagram. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. I looked at it. It was Draco. He was looking really sexy, wearing a black leather facet, a black gothic Linkin Park t-shirt, and black Congress shoes. Okay, you can go now. See ya.
Oh, blimey,
said Professor Sinister. Bye, bitch, I said, waving. I went to Draco, and Vampire was sitting next to him. We both followed Draco together, and I was so exhibited. A word came up that I was not Australian enough to get away with saying. Yeah, but anyway, chapter 25. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? If you do not, then it'll tell Justin to bait you up. It'll tell the nerds to put virtuals in your computer. Up. Raven Fangs for the help. Oh, excuse me. The help. It was DE, not DA. I was so excited. I followed Draco, wondering if we were going to do it again. We went outside, and then we went into Draco's black car. Ebony. What the did Professor Trevelry say? Whispered Draco, potting his gothic hand with Blavak nail polish on mine. She said she would tell him what the visions meant tomorrow, I grumbled in a sexy voice. He took out a heroin cabaret and spiked it and gave it to me to spork. He's... I don't know why the spork just hit me. Let you know to accept. Oh gosh. We could get through this, Virgil. He took out a heroin cabaret and spiked it, and gave it to me to spork. He started to fly the car into a tree. We went to the top of it. Draco put on some My Chemical Romance. And all the things that you never told me, and all the smiles that are ever gonna haunt me, sang Gerard's sexy voice. We started tiling off each other's clothes fervently. He took my black thong and my black leather bar. I took off his black boxers. Then he put his throbbing, you know what, in my tool sexually. OMFG, Draco, I screamed, having an orgasm. We started Frenching passively. Suddenly, I fell asleep. I started having a... She fell asleep. Draco was having difficulties that... Oh, okay, see, why am I making it worse? Okay. I started having a dream. In it, a black guy was shooting two gothic men with long black hair. No, please don't kill us, they pleaded, but he just kept shooting them. He ran away in a red car. No, oh my... God, I shouted in a scared voice. Ebony, what's wrong? Draco asked me as I woke up, opening my icy blue eyes. I started to cry and tears of blood went down my face. I told Draco to call Vampire. He did it with his black Lickin' Park mobile. But the worst thing was who the people who were shot in the dream were. Lucian and Sirius. Chapter 26. Author's note. Preps stup flamin story. Okay, if you do not like the story, then go yourself. You prep. You suck. Oh, why I wasn't being racist, okay? A few mutates later, Vampire came to the tree. He was wearing a black leather Jackson, black leather pants, and a good Charlotte t-shirt, good Charlotte t-shirt. Oh, hey, welcome on in, Sophie, and thank you for the fluid check. Thank you for coming on in. Yes. Hi, Vampire. I slid fertily as I started to sob. Draco hugged me sexily, triumphed to comfort me. I started to cry tears of blood and then told them what happened. Oh, bruh. Vampire shouted angrily. He started to cry sadly. What dick did that? I don't know, I said. No, come on, we have to tell Dumbledore. We ran out of the tree and into the castle. Dumbledore was sitting in his office. "Sire, our dads have been shot," Draco said while we whipped some tears from his white face. "Inobi had a vision in a dream." Dumbledore started to cockle. "And how do you expect me to know Ebony's not a divisional?" I glared at Dumbledore. "Look," he said angrily as Dumbledore gasped. "See, is that toot of Crackster?" Look, thank you very much. I can't tell, making sure people don't know I'm a poser. Gosh. Like seeing the writer's progress, no one scripts sexily. Well, you said that. Now you're probably gonna jinx it. "You know very well I'm not decisional. Now get some people out there to look for Ceres and Lucian Porto." I thought about it. Then all of a sudden, "Long done," I said. I told him which street. He went and... It took me too long to figure out what she was misspelling. He went and called some people and did some stuff. After a few mistunes, he came back and said people were going out looking for them. After a while, someone called him again. He said that they had been found. Draco, Vampire, and I all left to our rooms together. I went with Draco to wait in the nurse's office, while Vampire went to his wrists in his room. We look at each other's gothic, derperist eyes. Then we kissed. Suddenly, Sirius and Lucian came in on stretchers, and Professor Sinister was behind them. Just once again, Vampire is Harry, because he's gothic now, if I'm remembering right. Not exactly how I think Bloody Mary maybe, but it's don't know how they want us to pronounce that apostrophe, but yeah. But they are Hermione, if I'm remembering, but, now gothic. There's Dracula, which is like... That's Ron Weasley, isn't it? I think. Now... Okay. Anyway. Chapter 27. Vampires will never hurt you. Author's note. You know what? I do not give a what you preps think about me. So stoop flaming the story bitches. Thanks to Raven for your love in sport and help. I love you, girl. Says I cannot update. Lol, I was really depressed. And Maurice, I had to go to the hospital. Raven, you rock, girl. I feel like it's basically just that. She faked. Right. Everyone in the room started to cry happily. I had saved them. Draco, Lucian, Sirius, Bond, Vampire all came to hug me. The nurse started to give them medicine. "Come, Ananobi," said Professor Sinatra. She was wearing a gothic black leather dress with a corset top and real vampire blood on it. And black platinum boots. "I have to tell you the perdition." I looked at Lucian, Seraphs, Drake, and Vampire. They nodded. Assistant. Yeah. I smelled happily and went into a dark room. I had changed. Professor Sinister took out some black cards. She started to look into a black crucible ball. She said, "Tara." I didn't notice that, but she said Tara, the author's name, so it's the one drop of, he said, the self-insert character. "Tara, I see dark times are near," she said badly. She peered into the balls. "You see, you must go back in time." She took out a time toner like Bloody Mary had. "When Voldemort was in Hogwarts, before he became powerful, he got his heart broken. Now, do you think he would still become Voldemort if he was in love?" I shook my head. "You must go back in time and seduce him. It is the only way. If he is still evil, then you must kill him. You can come to my room tomorrow and you can do it." "Okay," I said sadly. We did that twitch scene. I went outside again, sadly. "What the happened?" asked Draco and Vampire. "Yeah, what happened?" asked Darkness, Willow, and Bloody Mary. Question mark. I was about to tell them, but everyone was there. They were celebrating Lucian and Sirius being found. Everyone was proud of me, but I just wanted to talk to Draco. They were cheesing my name, and some reporters were there, trying to interview Dumbledore. A banner was put up. Lots of preps were there, obviously trying to be gothic, wearing the HIM sign on their hands, despite them not having actually heard of him. Even Mr. Norris looked happy. A black and red cake had been brought out. Crab and Goik set up some fireworks in the shape of skulls from Weasley's wizard Wises. I put on my invisibility cloak with Vampire and Draco, and we sneaked outside together. Chapter 28. Author's note. I said, "Stop geflaming the story. It was a mistake. Miscat when Professor Rellery said that, okay? Go to hell. You suck. Thanks to Fally for the help. Raven, have fun with Kiwi." We went into a black room. The walls were black with portraits of gothic bands like MCR, GC, and Marlon Mason all over them. A big black coffin was in the middle. Red velvet lined the black box. There were 3 chairs made of bones with real skulls in them. I was wearing a black corset bar with purple stuff on it. Fishnet suckings and a black leather thong underneath. I sat down on one of the chairs dispersedly. So did Draco and Vampire. Are you okay? Vampire asked, putting his alba-starred hand on mine. He was wearing black nail polish. I was wearing black nail polish with red crosses on it. Yeah, I guess, I said sadly. Draco also put his hand on mine sexily. I smiled sadly with my black lipstick. The problem is, I have to seduce Volxemort. I'll have to go back in time. Now I'm just thinking of... Now an 8-bit, push it to the limit is playing in my head because of, flashing back to the really old meme, safety not guaranteed. If you either get educated. It's anyway. Draco started to cry sadly. Vampire hugged him. It's okay, Ebobby, he said finally. But what about me? You're not going to break up anything, are you? Of course not, I guessed. Really? He asked. Sure, I said. We Frenched sexily. Vampire looked at us longingly. Then, I took off Draco's MCR shrift and seductively took off his pants. He was hung like a Stallone. He had replaced the vampire tattoo that said NLB on it. Black roses were around it. I guessed. It looked exactly like Gerard Way. A vampire took a video camera. I had said it was okay before. Welcome on in, Jocelyn. Hope you're well. Thank you very much for coming on in. Reading my Immortal. I took off my clothes, then we were in for the rid of our leaf. We started fretching as we climbed into the coffin. He put his Spock in my you-know-what, and passively we did it. I love you, Ebobby. Oh, let me feel you. I need to feel you, he screamed as he got aggressive. We watched Vampire filmed everything perfectly. Suddenly... What the... Bruh. Are you doing? It was... Snope and Professor McGoggle. Chapter 29. Sat das up. You're just jealous cause you're preps. So, auf. Raven, you rock, girl, thanks for the help. MCR rocks 666. Oh my Satan, we screamed as we jumped out of the coffin. Snap and Professor McGonagall started to shoot at us angrily. Come now, Professor McGonagall yielded. We did, guiltily. We left the room, putting on our clothes. Snoop garbed the caramel and put it in his pocket. Hey, what the? Vampire shooted angrily. Yeah, Buster. What the? Are you going to do with that camera? Draco demanded, all protective, looking at me longly with his gothic red eyes. Look. Dumbledore knows your little secret, and if you do this again, then you will go to Saint Mango's. So give back the camera. Huh. The mystery of magic thinks he is crazy. There is no way. Nobody will believe him. Snoop laughed meanly. Yes, shut your moof poof, you insolent fools, yelled Professor McGoggle. She made us come into a weird room with white stones all around it. There were all these weird tools in it. Draco started to cry all sexy and sexative. Get it? 'Cause he's a sex bomb. Lol. Tom Philnut rules. For live, but not as luxy as Gerard. Your sex on legs. I love you.
Bruh.
Rock, marry me. Ugh. I heard my brain die a little bit trying to read that. I started to cry tears of blood. It happens in Vampire Chronicles. Raven said so, okay? So, you. Vampire took out a black handkerchief and started to wipe my red eyes. And then, he and Snoop both took out guns using magic. They started to shoot each other angrily. None of the ballots got on each other yet. I took out my wand. Crocio, I shouted. Snap stated to scram. He dropped the gun. But it was too late. Both of them had run out of bullets. I stopped the curse. Professor McGoogle did a spell so that we were all chained up. She took out a box of tools. Then she said, "Okay, Sheriff, I'm going to go now." She left. Snap started to laugh evilly. Vampire started to cry. "It's okay, Anobi," said Draco. "Evergreen will be all right. Remember the Sidio you took of Snake." Snape laughed again, and then he took out some whips. Chapter 30. Author's note. Stop flaming the story, okay? You do not know what's even gonna happen, okay? So for you, if you flam, you will be a prep so our flamers can kiss my ass. Souls for saying Alzheimer's is dangerous, but that's the mystery's opinion, 'cause society basically sucks. Thanks to Raven, you rock beach. No, we screamed sadly. Snap stated loafing meanly. He took out a camera envily. Then he came towards Darko. Watch out, Danny. Okay, I had to click that, but it's just dark. Anyway, he took some stones out of his pocket. He put the stones around Draco and lit a candle. What the are you doing? I shouted angrily. Snoop laughed meanly. He pulled down his pants. I gasped. There was a dork mark on his you-know-what. He waved his hand, and a knife came. He gave the knife to me. You must stab Vampire, he said to me. If you don't, then I'll... Draco. No, you... Bastard, I yelled. But then Draco looked at me sadly with his evil gothic red eyes that looked so depressant and sexy. He looked exactly like a pentagram. Lol, get it? 'Cause I'm a Satanist. Between Kurt Cobain and Gerard. But then I looked at Vampire, and he looked so smexy too, with his gothic black hair. I thought of the time when we screwed at the time I did it with Draco, and Dumbledore came, and the time Draco almost committed. And Vampire was so sportive. Snipe laughed angrily. He started to pray to Voldemort. He started to do an incapacitation dance around the Stokes, whipping Draco and Vampire. Suddenly, an idea I had. I closed my eyes, and using my vampire powers, I sent a telepathic message to Draco and Vampire so they would destruct Snape. Dumbledore will get you, Draco shouted. Yeah, just wait until the mystery find out, Vampire yelled. Meanwhile, I took out my wand. You ridiculous dunderhead, Snoop yielded. He took off all of Drick's clothes. Just as he was about to him. Crucio, I shouted, pointing my wound. Snoop screamed and started running around the room screaming. Meanwhile, I grabbed my black mobile and sent a text to Sirius. I stopped doing Crucio. You dunderhead, I'm going to kill, shouted Snape. But suddenly, Cerberus came. Snake put the whip behind his back. Oh, hello, Sev, I was just teaching them something. He lied, but suddenly, Lucian and Professor Trevelry came into the room, and they and Sirius unlocked the chains and put them around Snap. Then, Professor Trevelry said, Come on, Ebony, let's go. Chapter 31. Author's note. I said, shut the fuck up. Quips. Stop calling Ebony a Mary Sue, okay? You do not even know what's going to happen, okay? So, you. Thanks to my BFF Raven for the help. I always knew you were on Voldemort's side, you son of a bitchka. Buffy rocks, Sirius said to Snape. No, I'm not. I was teaching them something, Snap claimed. Oh, yeah? I took some black Voldemort serum out of my pocket and gave it to Severus. He made Snap drink it. He did, angrily. Then, Lucius took out a tape recorder, started playing it while he did curses on Snap. Then Professor Sinister and Lucian made us get out with them while Snape told his secrets. Lucian took Vampire and Draco to the nurse after thanking me a million times. Professor Trevelry took me to a dark room. Now I was going to go back in time to seduce Voldemort. Moving posters of MCR and Nirvana were all over. Hermione, Darkness, and Willow came too. Bloody Mary gave me a black bag from Tom Ridd's store. What's in the bag? I asked Professor Trevelry. You will see, she said. I opened the bag. In it was a sexy, tight, low-smut black leather gothic dress. It had red corset stuff, and there was a slit up the leg. I put it on. My friends helped me put on black fishnets and black pointy boots Willow had chosen. Willow and Darkness helped me put on black eyeliner and blood-red lipstick. You look kawaii, bitch, Bloody Mary said. Fangs, I said. Okay, now you're going to go back in Tim, said Professor Sinister. You'll have to do it in a few sessions. She gave me a black gun. I put it in a strap on my fishnets like in Red Disnet Evil. Then she gave me a black time tuner. After an hour, used a time turner to go back here, Professor Trevelry said. Then she and Bloody Mary put a pensive in front of me. Everyone went in front of it. Good luck, Everyone shooted. Darkness and Willow gave me Death's Touchson. Then I jumped sexually into the pensive. Suddenly, I was in front of the school. In front of me was one of the sexiest goth guys I had ever seen. He was wearing long black hair, kind of like Mikey Way, only black. He had green eyes like Billy Joe Armstrong and pale, wet skin. He was wearing a black ripped-up suit with Vans. It was Tom Bombadil. Wow. Man, these token adaptations are getting out of hand. Okay. Yeah, times like those are definitely why it clues itself into that it's almost certainly done by a troll. Because while hilarious, it tips its hand a bit too much. Anyway. Chapter 32. Author's note. I said Stoop Fleming. I know his name isn't Tom Bodil. That was a mistake. If you do not like the story, you can go screw yourself. You suck. Nope, she didn't thank Raven for her help. That time. Anyway. Hi, I said flirtily. I'm Enobi Way, the new student. I shook my pale hands with their black noil polish with him. The name's Tom, he said. But you can call me Satan. That's my middle name. We shook hands. Well, come on, we have to go upstairs, Satan said. I followed it. Hey, Satan, do you happen to be a fan of Green Day? Since MCR and Evanescence don't exist yet, then, I asked. Oh my. God, how did you know? Satan guessed. Actually, I like GC a lot too. Get it? 'Cause Good Charlotte did that song, I Just Want to Live, that sounded really 80s. OMG, me too, I replied happily. Guess what? They have a concert in Hogsmeade, Satan whispered. Hogsmeade? I asked. Yeah, that's what they used to call it in these times before it became Hogsmeade in 2000. He told me all secretively, and there's a really cool shop called Hot Topic? I finished, happy again. He frowned confusedly. No, it's called Hot Issue. He smiled secretly again. Then in 1998, they changed it to Hot Topic, he moaned. Oh, now everything was making sense for me. So is Dumbledore your principal? I shouted. Uh-huh. He looked at his black nails. I'm in Slytherin. OMG. Shmee too. I shrieked, kid. You go to this skull? Get it? 'Cause I'm Gothic, he asked. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm new. I smelled happily. Suddenly, Dumbledore flew in on his broomstick and started shredding at us angrily. No talking in the halls. He had short blonde hair and was wearing a polo shirt from American Ogle Outfitters. Stupid goths. Satan rolled his eyes. He's so mean to us goths and punks just because we're in Slytherin and we're not preps. I turned around angrily. Actually, I think maybe it's because you're the Bark Lord. WTF? He asked angrily. Oh, nothing, I said sweetly. Then suddenly, the floor opened. OMFG, no, I screamed as I fell down. Everyone looked at me weirdly. Hey, where are you going? Satan asked as I fell. I got out of the hole, and it was back in pensive in Professor Trevorrow's classroom. Dumbledum was there. Dumbledore, I think I just met you, I said. Oh, yeah, I remembered that, Dumbledore said, trying to be all gothic. Sinister came in. Hey, this is my classroom. Wait, WTF? Inobi, what the hell are you doing? I looked at her. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. With how? I screamed, forgetting she was a teacher for a second. Because she's a goth, so it's okay. Professor Sinister looked sad. I was drinking Voldemort serum. She started to cry black tears of depression. Dumbledum didn't know about them. Hey, are you crying tears of blood? He asked curiously, touching a tear. Fuck off, we both said, and Dumbledum took his hand away. Professor Sinister started crying again in her chair, sobbing limpid tears. OMFG, Inobi. I think I'm addicted to Voldemort serum. Author's note. See you, preps. Go yourself. That's serious issues. To go to hell. Chapter 33. Author's note. I said, shut up, it's not my fault, okay? If you don't like a story, then you're a prep. So, you flammers. P.S. I'm not updating up till you give me 5 gold reviews. And this time I mean it. You suck, thanks Raven for the help. I'll promise to help you with your story, lols. Oh my god, I shoot it sadly. Should we get to St. Manga's, bitch? Hell no, she said. Listen, Egogi, I need your help. Next time you go back in time, do you think you could ask Tom Anderson for some help? Sure, I said sadly. I went outside the door. Draco was there. He was wearing a big black Good Charlotte t-shirt, which was his Panama's. Hey, sexy, I said. How'd it go, Inobi? He asked, and his voice was so sexy and low, kind of like Gerard Way when he's talking. Fine, I responded. We started to go back into the dorm. How far did you go with Satan? Draco asked jealously. Not too far, lol, I borked. Will you have to do it with him? Draco asked angstily. I hope not too far, I shouted angrily. Then I felt bad for shooting at him. I said sorry, we Frenched. What happened to Snipe? I growled. You will see, Draco giggled mistressly. He opened the door. Snap and Lemkes were there. Sirius was pokering them by staging them with a black knife. No, please, Lumpkin begged as Sirius started to suck his blood. I laughed statistically. I took some photons of him and Snap being torqued. Okay, I know this is mean, but think about it, people. They are pedos, and Snape tried to them, and Nets said it's rock. Has anyone seen Shrek Attack 3? Lols. We took some of Snipe's blood, then Draco and I went back to our rooms. We sat on gothic black coffin. My clothes were kinda dirty, so I put on a black leather outfit. It thingy kinda like one Celine's has in Underworld. If you haven't heard of it, then you I put on some black platform high heels. Darko put on Desolation Livers by My Chemical Romance. Then we started to take off of each other's clothes. I took off his shit and he had a six-pack. Lulz. We started to make out like in The Grudge. He put his wetness in my you-know-what sexually. I got an orgy. Oh, Draco. Oh my. Draco. I screamed passively as he got an erection. I love you, Taebori. He whispered sexually, and then we fell asleep together. Oh, excuse me, asleep. Attack. Chapter 34. Shut the preps. Have you even read the story? You're probably all just preps and posers. So, you. Thanks to Raven for the help. I woke up in the coffin the next day. Draco was gone. I got up and put on a black, tight, sexy dress that was all ripped up at the end. There was red corset stuff going up, down front, and back, and it came up to my knees. There was a slit in the dress, like in Mr. and Mrs. Simpth. I put on ripped black fishnets and black Stilton's bow oats. Suddenly, Sorius cocked on the door. I opened it. Hi, Ibony, he said. Guess what? You have to come to Professor Sinistor's office. Okay, I said in a depressed voice. I had wanted to Draco, or maybe listen to some My Chemical Romance or Evanescence. I came anyway. So what the happened to Snipe and Lupin? I asked Sorius flirtily. I tortured them, he answered in a statistic way. There are Abkhazani. They are in Abkhazian now, lol. I laughed evilly. Where are Draco and Vampire? I muttered. They are excused from school today. Sodomize moaned sexily. Right now they are watching The Nightmare Before Xmas. That would be a statistic way. Because accuracy is important. Yeah, the brain cells are dying. To read it. I am reading this. I am doing my best to read this. Once again, I am doing my best to read this exactly as it is written. Even though it's, I swear, gonna give me an aneurysm. We went into the office. Professor Sinister was there. She was wearing a gothic black dress, and it was all ripped all over it, kind of like the one Amy Lee wears in this pic. HTTP. She was drinking some Volximort serum. She took out the pensive and the time turner. Enobi, you will have to do another session now. Also, I need you to get me the cure for being addicted, she said sadly. Good luck, Fangs. And then I jumped into the Pensive again. Suddenly, I looked around. I was in the Great Hall eating Count Chorkula. It was morning. I was sitting next to Satan. On a table was a tall Gothic man with long black hair, pale skin, and blue eyes, wearing a suit and black Converse shoes. He looked just like Charlene Manson. I noticed he was drinking a portent. Who's he? I asked. Oh, that's Professor Slutborn, Satan said. He's the portents teacher. Ebony? Yeah? I asked. Did you know that Marilyn Mason is playing in Hogsmeade today? And they're showing The Exercise at the movies before that. Yeah? Well, want to go to the corn tort and the movie with me? Chapter 35. Ghost of You. Oh, also, thank you very much for coming by. I hope you... Yeah. Let's see. Author's note. Thanks to Susie for the idea. You rock. Off preps. Thanks to Raven for the help. You rock, girl. P.S. I'm going to end the story really soon. So, yeah, and if you know any Gothic name, please tell me, cross. I need one for serious Fangs. I went into the conman room thinking of Satan. Suddenly, I gasped. Draco was there. I grasped. He looked at his hut as ever, wearing black leather pants, a black Lunken Prack t-shirt, t-shirt, and black eyeliner. Draco. What the? Are you dong? I gasped. Huh? Yes, then I remembered. It wasn't Draco. It was Lucan. He still had 2 arms. Oh, hi, Lucian, I said. I'm Ebony, the new student. Lol, we shook hands. Yeah, Satan told me about you, Lucian said. He pointed to a group of sexy Gothic guys. They were sitting in a corner, cutting. It was serious. Vampire's dad and snap! All of them were wearing the black eyeliner and black good Shralut band shirts. Listen, I'm in a goth band with those guys, he said. We're playing tonight at the Marilyn Mason show as backup. Orly? I asked. Yeah, he said. We're called X Black X Tier X. I played the guitar. I played the gutter. Spartacus plays the drums, he said, pointing to him. Snap plays the bass, and Gemmes plays the guitar. To even foe we call him Samaro, after Samaro in the ring. Hey bastards, I told him. They gave me Death Tutsin. Suddenly I gasped again. But don't you have a lead singer? I asked. Lucian looked down sadly. We used to, but she did. She contempted by her wrists. Oh my. That's so sad, I gasped. It's okay. But we need a new lead snare, Samaro said. Okay, I only slightly modified that for reasons. Anyway, sounds way too similar to something else. Let's print it. Anyway, well, I said I'm in a band myself. Really? Snap. I couldn't believe it. Used to be Gothic. Yeah, we were called Bloody Gothic Rose 666. Do you want her me sing? Yeah, said everyone. So the guys took out their guitars. They began to playing a song by, get it? 'Cause by guys are so sexy. Gurnday. I work this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams. I sang secondly. I do not own the lyrics to that song. Everyone gasped. NOP, will you join the band, please? Begged Lucian, Samoro, Sirius, and Snap. Okay, I shrugged. Are we going to play tonight? Yeah, they said. Okay, I said. But I knew that I had to get a new outfit. I walked outside wondering how I could go forward in time. Suddenly, someone jumped in front of me. It was Morty McFly. He was wearing a black banana t-shirt and black baggy jeans. What the hell are you doing here? I asked. I will help you go forward in time, Inubi. Seriously, he took out a black time machine. I went into it and suddenly I was forward in Tim. Oh gosh. Now we have Morty McFly. Just took out the time. I just like have those around you, you know? Those are pretty, I mean, it's easy to like, you know, you can get like, you know, a 5-pack of those for real cheap down at the Walmart, you know. Yup. Chapter 36. Author's note. I said stop flaming, okay? I bet you are all probably old 70 years old. Piers Portersus, you're a prep. Oh yeah, nod. Thanks to Raven for the help. Have fun in England, girl. It's big person stick one in here. I looked around in a depressed way. Suddenly, I saw Professor Sinister, Bloody Mary, Socrates, and Draco. Vampire and Willow were there too. Poor Socrates. First Hemlock, now this. OMFG, Sorius, I saw you and Samaro and Snip and everyone. I can't believe Snap used to be Gothic. Yeah, I know, Sirius said sadly. Oh, hey there, bitch, Professor Trevory said in an emo voice, drinking some Volximort serum. Hi, I said. Listen, Satan asked me to go out to a gothic cornet and a movie, so I need a sexa new outfit for the date. Also, I'm playing in a gothic band, so I need an outfit for that too. Became Canadian. Oh my Satan. Get it? Lols, 'cause she's gothic. Gasped Bloody Mary. Want to go to Hot Topic to shop for your outfit? OMFS. Let's have a group. Let's have a group session. Said Professor Trevory. I can't wait for that, but we need to get some stuff first, said Willow. Yeah, we need some portions for Professor Trevory, so she won't be addicted to Volximort serum anymore. And also some love potion for Enobi, Darko said resultantly. Well, we have potions class now, Willow said, so let's go. We went sexually to potions class. But Snap wasn't there. Instead, there was Cornelio. Hey, where the... is Dumbledore? Draco shouted angrily. STFU, shouted Cornelia. He and his Ascabian now, with Snip and Lupin. He is old and weak. He has cancer. Now do your work. My friends and I talked angrily. Can you believe Snap used to be Gothic? A vampire asked surprisedly. That's it. Cornelio shouted angrily. I'm getting Professor Bridge. He stomped out angrily. My friends and I began talking again. I began to drink some blood mixed with beer. Suddenly, I saw Hagrid in the cupboard. WTF is he doing? I asked. Then I looked at Draco. He was wearing tons of eyeliner, and he looked sexier than ever. Suddenly, Hargriff. What the are you doing? He shouted. I looked around. Hagrid was putting something in my glass of blood. Draco and Vampire started to beat him up sexily. God, you're such a poser. I shouted at Hagrid. Suddenly, I looked at what he was putting in the blood. It was amnesia portion. Chapter 37. Author's note. Okay, everybody, I'm going on vacation on the 1st of July, so I'm either gonna end the fic or update in weeks. Fangs, Jens, preps, stop flaming, the story. Raven, thanks for the help. See ya, girl, after vacation. Darko's point of view, lol. Vampire and I chained Hagrid to the floor. Oh my. Satan, Enobi said. She was so hot. Maybe I could use amnesia potion to make Satan fall in love with me faster. But you're so sexy and wonderful. Anyway, Tata, said Vampire, why would you need it? To make everything go faster, lol, said Enobi. But you won't have to do it with him or anything, will you? I asked jealously. OMFG, guys. You guys are so scary, said Brittany. Prep. Shut the up, said Willow. Okay, well anyway, let's go to Professor Trevory's room. Shut the... No, oh wait, I'd already done that. Okay, let's go to Professor Trevory's room. Draco and Ebery and I went to Professor Siniator's room, but Professor Sinister wasn't there. Instead, Tom Ridd was. Oh, hi, he said. Listen, I got you some cool new clothes. I took out the clothes from the bag. It was a gothic black leather miniskirt that said 666 on the back, black Stilton boots, blood red fishnets, and a black corset. OMG fangs, I said, hugging him in a gothic way. I took the clothes in the bag. Okay, Professor Sinister, isn't our... What the should we do? Asked Draco. Suddenly, he looked at the sign on the blank wall. Oh my. Satan, I screamed as I read it. On it said, every Professor Sinister is away. She is too gothic. She is Ascabian now. Classes shall be taught by Dubledork, who is back, but he shall not be principal for now. Sincerely, Professor Rumbridge. OMFG, I shouted angrily. How could they do that? Suddenly, Dumbledore came. What the hell are you doing in my office? He began to shoot angrily. Suddenly, I saw Morty McFly's Black Tim machine. I jumped seductively into it, leaving Draco and Vampire. Suddenly, I was back in Tim. I looked around. It was Professor Slutborn's office. I sneaked around. Suddenly, I saw the amnesia potion on his desk. It was black with blood-red pentagrams on it. It was the shape of a cross. I put it in my pocket. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Professor Slutgorn. OMG, what are you doing? He shouted angrily. I don't know what you're doing. I shouted angrily. Time Machine seductively has to save Screaming Fear 6. Oh, sorry. I was just looking around 'cause I thought it was class. He said, finally, hoping he couldn't see the potion in your pocket. Oh, okay. You can go now, said Professor Slutborn. He went to the conman room after putting on my clothes. Silas, Samaro, and Snap were there practicing Vampires Will Never Hurt You by My Chemical Romance. Oh, hi you guys, I said seductively. Where's Satan? Oh, he's coming, said Sirius. It's not spelled as it should be. That's all I'm saying. BTW. You can call me Hades now. Suddenly, Satan came. He was wearing a smexy black leather Jackson, black Congress shoes, a Slipknot t-shirt, and a black tie. Okay, I will see you guys at the concert, I said, and then I went with Satan. Chapter 38. Author's note. What does everyone think if I end the story and then I add some more to it after vocation? Oh yeah, and prep, stop flaming. If you do not like the story, then take my quiz, okay? Then if you will see if you're gothic or not. Satan and I walked to his car. It was a black car with pentagrams all over it. On the license plate said 666, just like Draco's car. I went in seductively. Stan started to drive it. We talked about Satanism, lol, because he was named after Satan. Knutting, music, and being gothic. Oh my Satan. Gerard is so hot. Voldemort agreed as we smoked some weed. 'Cause bi guys are hot. They are so sensitive. I loved him. Lol. Go a bi guy. Lol, I decided not to commit when I heard Helena. I said in a flirty voice. Hey, Satan, do you know the cure for when people are addicted to Voldemort serum? Well, he thought. I think you have to drink vampire blood. Suddenly, Voldemort parked a car behind a black movie theater. Satan and I walked outside. We went into the movie theater. They were showing The Exorcist. In it, a boy and a girl were doing it. Suddenly, a serial killer came. Lol. Satan and I laughed at the blood, 'cause we were sadists. While Satan was watching the movie, I had an idea. I took Satan's gothic Black Nightmare Before Christmas cigar sexually from his pocket and put some amnesia potion in it. I put it back in his black Emil the strange bag. Satan turned around and started to smoke it. Black clouds with red pentagrams and M started to fly around everywhere. OMG, Satan said, jumping up. I gasped because I was afraid he noticed. Inobi, guess what? I knew that the amnesia had worked. Amnesia potion has not been invented yet, so it will not work, he said. Too bad, because I wanted to use some on you. Cool. It's spelled K-U-L. I raised my eye suggestively, and then he took off my clothes sexily, and we started to make out. I took off his shirt. He had six-pack, just like Gerard Way, we Frenched. Excuse me, but you're going to have to leave, shooted the lady behind us. She was a prep. You, I said. Suddenly, I attacked her, sucking all her blood. No, she screamed. All the preps in the theater screamed, but everyone else crapped because Satan and I looked so cute together. Satan and I started to walk outside. OMG, how did you do that? Voldemort asked in a turned-on voice. I'm a vampire, I said as we went into the car. Seriously? He gasped. Yeah, seriously. I said, drinking some beer. Satan started to drive the car. I smelled happily. It's too bad we didn't get to see the rest of the movie, don't you think? Yeah, I said as we kissed passively. Satan parked in a black driveway next to the place where Draco and I had watched Good Charlotte for the first time. We went inside where Marilyn Manson was playing and started to mosh lol. Anti-people, no, you've gone too far. Jesus Christ. Superstar, screamed Marlon on the stage. We did the devil fingers. I started to dance really close to Satan. He was so schmexy. He looked at me all emo with his gothic red eyes, and he looked exactly like Mikey Way. I almost got an orgasm. Suddenly, Marilyn Mason stopped singing. I would like to present X Black X Tier X 11, he said. I ran on stage. Lucian, Samaro, Snap, and Hades were there. They started to play their instruments. I got on stag. Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say, I sang. I do not own the lyrics to that song. My voice sounded like a pentagram between Amy Lee and a girl version of Gerard Way. Everyone clapped. Satan got an erection. I'm not okay, I sang finally. Suddenly, Lucian started playing the song Wrong by Mistake. OMFG, yielded James. What the? Whoops, I'm sorry, said Lucian. You asshole, James shouted angrily. You guys are such preps, Snap said. Come on, it was a mistake. Yeah, it's not his fault, said Sirius. No. He ruined the song, yelled Samaro. You guys stop. I shouted angrily, but it was too late. They all began to fight. Suddenly Samaro took out his knife. OMFG, no, shouted Lucan, but it was too late. James tried to shoot off his arm, and then I jumped sexily in front of the bullet. No, yielded everyone, but it was too late. Suddenly, everything went black. Chapter 39. I am a trolling genius. Lulz. Disclaimer, I do not own the HP series and I am not the real XX Bloody 666XXX. Author's note. I am an extremely immature, pathetic idiot girl, I know. Out of boredom, I cracked this girl's passy for fun, and it took less than 8 minutes to do it too, and it will probably get a shitload of trouble. which I probably deserve because I'm being a troll right now. Meh. And I present to you my crappy part in this story. And take note, I haven't even finished reading this fic yet, but instead, skip over to skim chapter 38. Flame, laugh, do whatever you want, preps. I, the American retail wearing British vampire Sue, coughed up blood. Satan kneeled down beside me. No, don't die. I gave him a rueful smile. I'm sorry. It's something I had to do to fulfill my duty as the noble Gothic Mary Sue. Satan sobbed. I love you, Ebony. I love you too. I'll see you in hell. I mumbled, already finding my surroundings fading to black. A Bloody Mary Smith suddenly popped into the room for no apparent reason. She frowned when she realized the room was oddly quiet, and at the sight of Ebony's lifeless body, she screamed. Her face became pale with horror. She screamed for the healers, Dumbledore, McGoogle, and every single Gothic person she could think of. Suddenly, a glow started to surround the body of Ebony. Everyone stared in shock. Her body started to lift ever so slowly, and then, to everyone's shock, it started to incinerate. When everyone realized what was happening, they rushed over to try to rescue the body, but it was too late. The Sioux became nothing more than a pile of ashes. A loud resounding of everyone bellowing, "No!" filled the room. A flash of white light from the ashes, then starting to bounce around the room. Everyone cowered in fear and were temporarily blinded. When it was all over, things changed. All the silly goth clothes dropped from everyone's bodies. Author's note: I will refuse to explain how the hell that happened, and in their place, clothes the characters that would normally wear in canon appeared on their bodies. When everyone got over the shock of becoming free of the Gothic power, everybody cheered. Everyone started singing, "Ding dong, the Sioux is dead." Well, that is, until all the HP characters realized the true implications of becoming more canon-like again. All the characters who were supposed to be dead fell to the floor, their bodies cold and lifeless. Harry and Voldemort started dueling. On the left side of the two, the battle of the light side and the dark side were reaching a climax. And because the replacement author also likes to screw around with canon, Draco and Hermione fled the scene and got married. Meanwhile, down in hell, Ebony shed a single tear because of her current situation, a situation that would live on for all eternity, or at least until the end of fanfiction time. She lost it all, but she knew she had to remain strong. Nothing would ever break her down. She looked down over her pale body and frowned. Where are my emo clothes? She asked herself in confusion, and then it occurred to her. For her shirt, she was wearing a bright pink polo with a little seagull on the right or left, I can't remember, side. Below that, she was wearing a denim miniskirt with the destroyed look on it. Paired underneath that skirt were leggings with a little moose at the bottom, and then Ebony realized, on her shoulder, she was carrying a pretty bag with an eagle on it that said, "Live your life," written all over the bag. Ebony suppressed the urge to scream. Here, she was decked out in clothes, prepped to the extreme, wearing stuff from Abercrombie and Fitch, American Eagle, and Hollister. Panicked, Ebony hastily tried to take off the Hollister polo, but underneath it, there was another Hollister polo underneath. Ebony frowned and looked under her shirt. All she saw was a bra underneath. Dare I point out that it's from the Airy line available at American Eagle? Ebony tried to remove the shirt again, but to her frustration, there was yet again another polo to replace it. This is unlogical. It does not make any sense, Ebony bellowed out to the air. She failed to see the irony in her statement. How hypocritical her words were, seeing as she was practically calling the kettle black here. Ebony slit her wrists and mumbled to herself, "Oh my god." End crap fic. Chapter 39. Author's note. Oh yeah, if you want to see the original content this chick had planned for this chapter, I accessed it through the document manager thingy, where I copied and pasted so you can read it here. Author's note. STFU preps, get a lift, you suck. Oh, and from now on, I'll be in vacation in England until Lick Audix, so I won't be able to update for a while. Lols. Thanks to everyone. How reviled, expect the preps. He flamed for you. MCR rules. 666. Exclamation 1111. I woke up in the Norse's office on a special gothic coffin. Hagrid was in the bed opposite me in a coma, 'cause Vampire and Draco had bet him up. Mr. Norse was cleaning the room. Oh my Satan, what happened? I screamed. Suddenly Voldemort came. He looked less mean than usual. Get the out, you bastard, I yielded. Thou hast not killed the vampire yet, he said angrily. Suddenly he started to cry tears of blood, all selective. Voldemort? OMFG, what's wrong? I asked. Suddenly, Lucian, Professor Sinister, and Sirius came. Bloody Mary and Vampire were with him. Everyone was holding black boxes. Voldemort disappeared. OMFG, Enobi, you're alive, screamed Vampire. I hugged him and Bloody Mary. What the happened? I asked him. Oh my Satan. Am I dead now? I gasped. Enobi, you were almost shot, said Sirius, but the bullet could not kill you since you are form another time. But fangs anyway, said Lucian, holding out his arm. I gasped. He had 2 arms. OMG, I can't believe Vampire's dad shot you. I guess. Well, to be honest, Snap was possessed by Snap. Back then, said James. Yeah, he was a spy, Sirius said sadly. He was really a death dealer. And was he such a poser? Too, said Lucian. He didn't even really know who Good Charlotte were until I told him. Well, everyone started to give me presents. I was opening a black box with red 666s. There was a DVD of Corpse Bride in it. On it, when I gasped. Mr. Norse looked up angrily because he hated goths. Hey, has anyone seen Draco? I said gothically. No, Draco told me he would be watching Hose of Wax. Said Professor Trevory. He doesn't know that you're better. Anyway, the Norse said you could get up. Come on. I got up suicidally. Lucian, Sirius, and Professor Sinister left. I was wearing a black leather nightgown. Under that, I had on a sexy black leather bra, trimmed with black lace, with a matching thong that said Gothic Girl on the butt, and sexy fishnets. I'm sorry, just the crazy thought just right or whatever. I'm almost certain that someone has inspired by this, actually made at some point some sort of that said Gothic Girl. Surely someone has tried to do that just for the lulz after he's okay. Anyway, sexy fishnets that kind of hooked on to my phone. If you don't get the idea, message me, I'll tell you. I put on a black fishnet top under a black MCR t-shirt, a black leather mini with black lace and Congress shoes. I left the hospital's wings with Bloody Mary, Willow, and Vampire. OMFG, let's celebrate, gasped Willow. We can go see Hose of Wax with Draco, giggled Vampire. Let's go listen to Good Charlotte and cut ourselves, 666, said Hermione. We opened up the conman room. Sex room doors sexily, and then I gasped. Draco was there doing it with Snap. He was wearing a black shirt with 666 on the front and baggy jeans. You prep, we all yielded angrily. You betrayed us, shouted Vampire angrily as he took out his black gun. No, you don't understand, screamed Draco sadly as he took his thingy out of Snake's. No shit, you suck, you preppy bastard, said Willow, trying to attack him. You rock girl. I ran suicidally to my room. I sexily took a stake out. Inobi, no, screamed Draco, but it was late. I had whiff. It suddenly everything went black again. Sincerely, and a non-author who will silently not reveal her identity because she's a coward. AKA, just a troll with rocks for brains. Chapter 40. Lol, someone has taken my account over. The idiot's note. Well, this is in the dock area. Might as well let the whole world see the real Tara wanted to show us. Have a nice day. Author's note. STFU preps, get a lift, you suck. Oh, and from now on, I'll be in vacation in England until like August, so I won't be able to update for a while. Lols. Thanks to everyone. How you reviewed. Expect the preps. He flamed. Fuck you. MCR rules 666. Wait. Okay, it's the same text again. Okay, except it has a thing at the very end says, idiot's note. I know, terrible, but then again, this wouldn't be called the worst fanfic ever if not for the fact that the writing standards meets the level of a day-old fetus. Chapter 41. Author's note. To everyone, hey, you kept flamin' ditch gets life. I bet you probably don't near her Gerard way is you probably all preps and posers. Anyway, some hacked in my account in November and they put up my last chapter, but now there is a new one. I'm sorry for not updating for a while, but I've been really busy and trying to finish the story before a new movie comes out. I'm gone on vacation for a month. I won't be back until about 2 weeks. OMFG, Draco is so hot in all the pics for the new movie. I wanted them to put a cameo by Gerard Way. Lol. He host played Draco. If you flame, I'll slit my wrists. Raven, you rock. Girl, have fun in England. When I woke up, I was in a strange room. I looked around. I was wearing the same outfit I had when it's performed with X Black X Tears X. I looked around confusedly. It was the Norse's office, but it looked different. On the wall was a pic of Marilyn Manson. Just imagine that he is an 80s gothic band too. Okay, cause he's more old than Panic at the Disco or MCR. There was also a gothic black Beatles calendar with the picture of the Beatles wearing eyeliner and black clothes. On it said 1980. OMFG, I'm back in Tim again, I screamed loudly. Suddenly, Satan, this is actually Voldemort, for photo reference. Voldemort was wearing a black leather Jackson, black tight jeans, and fishnet pants. He looked so sexy, I almost had an orgy. OMFG, Inobi, are you okay? He asked gothically. Yeah, I'm okay, for your information. I snapped sexily. OMG, am I dead? Because I remembered I had jumped in front of the bullet from James' gun. I also remembered seeing Draco doing it with Snap. I guess that when I slit my wrists, I went back in time instead of dying. I know I could go forward in time if I found a time turner or the Tim machine. No, you're not dead. Satan reassured suicidally as he smoked a cigarette sexily and smoke came all over his face. You're a vampire, so you can't die from a bullet. Come on now, let's go see how Harry's dad is doing. I know that the real reason I didn't die from the bullet was cause I was from the future. WTF. James almost shot Lucius, I said indoubtedly. I knew that James had really been possessed, but I didn't want him to know I knew. Yeah, I know, but he had a headache. He was under a lot of stress. Satan reasoned evilly. I guess that's okay, I said, because James hadn't really shot Lucian. Also, I know that Lucian now have 2 arms instead of 1. I walked seductively outside of Satan. Suddenly I saw a totally sexy gothic bi guy. He had black blonde hair with black streaks up to his ears, and he was wearing gothic black eyeliner, a black Green Day shirt. It showed Billy Joel with blonde hair, since it was the 80s. Black Converse shoes and black baggy pants. He walked in all sexily like Gerard Way in the video for I Don't 3 You Like I Did Yesterday, and you could see a black tear on his face like the women in that video. Hey, he said all quickly and gothically. Who the is that? I asked angrily, cause I did not know him. This is Hedwig, said Voldemort. He used to be in X Black X Tier X too, but he had to drop out cause he broke his arm. Hey, Hedwig, I said seductively, even though I was not trying to be. Lol. Hi, Enobi, he answered. Then he ran away because he had hair of magical creature. He was humming Welcome to the Black Parade under his breath. I know that is not 80s, but pretend it is, okay? Bye, I said all sexily. That was Hedwig. He used to be my boyfriend, but we broke up, Satan said sadly, lurking at his black nails. OMFG. I can get you back together, I said, fingering something I didn't know was in my pocket. A black coat is what we aim for CDO iPod that I could take videos with. Does I else not know about them? They kick ass. Okay, you can forget about your class for now, Hedwig. I'm going to show you something great. I led them to the Great Hall. Come on, you guys. Lucian, James, Sirius, and Snake were all in the Great Hall. Lucian wouldn't talk with James because he had tried to shoot him. Go yourself, you douche, he shouted at him. Draco was never going to be friends with Vampire now. You can go yourself, Samaro, Snape agreed. But I know he was lying, cause it would have been his fault James had almost shot Lucian. Be quiet, guys, I said sexily. My plan was working out great. Now I could make Voldemort good without doing it with him. Now Vampire's dad would never die, and... Okay, Satan and Hedwig, you guys can start making out, I said. And I started to film them with the iPod. Cool, said Sirius as Voldemort and Hedwig started to make out sexually. We watched as they started to take off each other's clothes off sexually. Tomorrow, Sirius, Snake, and Lucian all watched because they were probably bi too. I knew Snape was bi. Oh my. Voldemort! Voldemort! Screamed Hedwig as his Glock touched Voldemort's. But suddenly everything stopped as the door opened and in came Dumbledore and Mr. Norris. Chapter 42. Author's note. OMG, the new book is coming out really soon. I can't wait. I think the Snap will really be the same person as Voldemort, cause they are both half-blood, so that will explain why he killed Dumbledore and he hated Harry. And then Harry will have to commit, so Voldemort will die, cause he will really be a Horcrux. OMG, I hope Draco and Harry get together. That will be so schmexy, won't it? If they don't, then JKR is homophobic. Thanks for the help with facts. Medusa, you rock. Apparently Raven was replaced. Sad. I sat depressedly in Dumbledore's office, with Hedwig, Satan, James, Sirius, Snap, and Lucian. Dumbledore was sitting in front of us cruelly. He looked more young than he did in the future. He had taken the iPod away and was now listening to a shitty Avril Lavigne song. What the hell is this anyway? He cackled meanly. I hope he didn't find out that I was from another time. Whatever you do, don't blame Ebony, you jerk, Satan said. Yeah, seriously, she was trying to get Satan and Hedwig back together, Sirius said deviantly. Be quiet, you Satanists, Dumbledore cackled. If you're lucky, I'll probably send you all to Akazaban. That will teach you to copulate in the Great Hall. He changed the song on the iPod to an NSYNC song. Suddenly, I noticed something strong about the iPod. It was slowly changing. Dumbledore didn't notice. You poser, I muttered. I bet you've never heard of Good Charlotte, James said. No, I knew what the iPod was changing into. Morty McFly's Tim Machine. Shut up, Jones, Draco's dad shouted. Yeah, shut up, Snake said preppily. No, you shut up, Dumbledore, said Tom. I've had enough of you Satanists in my school, shouted Dumbledore furiously. Suddenly, I grabbed the iPod from him. Everyone jump in before it's too. I jumped in too, but only one other person jumped in. It was Satan. You dunderheads, screamed Dumbledore wisely as we went. I looked around. I was in the Slytherin common room with Satan. I was wearing a black plaid miniskirt with hot pink fishnets, a sexy black MCR corset, and black stiletto boots with pink pentagrams on them. My earrings were black Satanist sins, and my raven hair was all around me, to my mid-black. Hey, cool. Where is this? He asked in an emo voice. This is the future. Dumbledore's iPod that he tried to take away from me was really also a time machine, a Tim machine, I told him. Cool, what's an eye patch? He whimpered. It's something you use to listen to music, I yacked. Oh, MFG, cool, what's a 4-letter word for dirt? He asked in his sexy voice. I guess sand? I laid confusedly. Yeah, I was trying to make sure you were still the same person. He triumphantly giggled. Suddenly, some of my frightened friends walked in. OMFG, you're alive, said Jenny, wearing a black leather jacket, black baggy pants, and a gothic black from first to last shirt. I explained to her I was alive. Konnichiwa, bitch, said Willow. She was wearing a black corset showing off her boobs with lace all around it and red stripes on it. With it, she was wearing a black leather miniskirt, big black boots, white foundation, black eyeliner, red eyeshadow, and black lipstick. Hey, mother, said Diabolo with his red hair. Okay, Diabolo is... Or is it Diab? That's right, that's Ron Weasley. Okay, I think, yeah. He was wearing a black P question mark A TD shirt and black baggy pants. Hey, who's that, Ebony? Bloody Mary questioned as she walked in wearing a black t-shirt with a red pentagram on it with lace at the bottom. Red leather pants with black lace and black stilettos. Oh, it's Satan, I told her, and she nodded, knowing the truth. Suddenly, Satan started to cry. Are you okay, Satan? We asked concernedly. OMFG, you're from the future. What if you don't like me now because we're from different times, he asked. No, I still like you, I said sexily to him. Okay, he said reassuredly. I let him listen to Teenagers by MCR on my iPod while I was about to go outside to find some things. I gave Diabolo a signal to keep Satan occupied. Satan fell asleep. I took the iPod. I was about to walk outside. Professor Sinister ran in. She was wearing a gothic black mini dress with depressing black stripes, white and black striped tights, and red Converse shoes. She was wearing lots of black eyeliner. Oh my. Where's Draco? How did Snap get back here? I thought he was in Azerbaijan, I asked sadly. Ebony, I was so worried about you, but I know you can't die because you're a vampire. Snape came back because that girl Brittany freed him. I never liked her. She was a bad student, Trevorly said reassuredly. That bitch. Did she also free Hagrid and Lupin? I shouted angrily. I hated Brittany because she was a prep. Or, excuse me, she was a prep. Yes, they were on the loose at the school. Dumbledore is back. Cornelia is on his way to help everyone. Tell everyone you see to lock themselves in their conman room, Trevelry said worriedly. Okay, but where's Draco? How come he was doing a snap? I don't know why, but I know he almost tried to commit. After he saw you almost kill yourself, said suicide. She said, OMG, that's terrible, I gasped. Satan was still asleep, so he couldn't tell what was going on. Then I said, listen everyone, I have something impotent to do. An hour, everyone stay. With that, I ran out. Good luck, Tara, everyone cried. I ran sexily down the stairs into the great hall, while the portraits around looked at me scaredly. There was hardly no one else in the stairs, and Tara was an atmosphere of horror. On the way, I saw Brittany laughing on the stairs. She was wearing a slutty pink shirt with flowers on it, a blue jeans skirt, Abercrombie, and pink stilettos. She looked just like a pentagram of those preps, Hilary Duff and Lindsay Lohan. You bitch, I shouted angrily. No, you're totally a bitch. Now Voldemort will, like, totally kill you, she laughed. Crucius, I shouted selectively, pontificating my black wand, and she started screaming 'cause she was being tortured, and I laughed sadistically. No, help me, please, Brittany screamed terrifiedly. I put up my middle finger at her. In her hand, I saw the video camera Snape and Lupin had used to take the video of me. I put the tape of Voldemort doing it with Hagrid onto it. Then I continued to round down the stairs with the camera. When I had reached the Great Hall, I saw Vampire Potter. OMG, Vampira! I yielded. We hugged each other happily. He looked at me with his gothic red eyes and spiky black hair. Around them was black eyeliner and eyeshadow. She was wearing a black leather Jackson leather pants, a Panic at the Disco concert shirt, and his black Converse shoes. He looked more like Joe from Good Charlotte than ever. Did you hear the song The River It Rocks? I was so worried you died, moaned Vampire. I know, but I'm a vampire, lol. When I woke up, I was back in 1980. So in a way I thought brought Voldemort from there when he was young with me. Where's Draco? I asked fiercely. Draco, you mean that poser who destroyed you? Or who betrayed you? Vampire snarled with anger in his sexy voice. I know, but we have to find him, I said, smarty. I'll do it then, Harry said angstily. Okay, I agreed. Suddenly, all the lights in the room went out, and then The dark mark appeared. No, excuse me, the dork mark appeared. Oh my. Satan, Harry shouted. I think Voldemort has arrived, I said anxiously. I have to find Draco. I guess we should separate. Okay, Vampire said, deapparating. Sadly, I ran into the Great Hall. We have 2 more chapters. Almost there. The end is in sight. Chapter 43. Author's note. I think after this, I will have about 2 or 3 more chapters. Thanks all my reviewers, not disflamers. If you flamed the story, then you suck. If you flame, then you. I walked sexily into the Great Hall. It was empty except for one person. Draco was there. He sat there in deadly bloom in his black 666 t-shirt and his baggy black pants. He had his wrists. I felt mad at him for having sex with Snape, but I felt sorry for him. He looked just like Gerard Way with his red eyes and his pale white face. Draco, are you okay? I asked. I'm not okay, he screamed depressedly. I thought of the MCR song and I got even more depressed because that song always makes me cry. I gave him a pot cigarette and he started to smoke it. Draco, why did you do it with that bastard Snape? I asked tearfully. Draco began to say, but suddenly Lupin and Mr. Norris appeared into the room. They didn't see us. So glad me and Snape were freed, said Lupin. Damn, this job would be great if it wasn't for the students, Mr. Norris agreed. Pop Adulum, I yielded, angrily pointing my wand at them. No, Lupin shouted as chains came on him. Mr. Norris ran away. You perv, I said, laughing with depths of evil and depressedness in my voice. Now you have to tell us where Voldemort is, or I'm going to torture you. I don't know where he is, said Lupin. Suddenly, Satan and Vampire ran into the room. Vampire didn't know who Satan was, really. Oh my Satan, we were so worried about you guys, Vampire said. I looked sexily at Draco with his gothic red eyes with context black t-shirt that said 666 on it, and pale skin like Gerard Way. Vampire with his sexy black hair and red eyes just like Frank Iero, and Satan, who looked just like Brandon Urier. Then I selectively took the caramel from my pocket, and then I began Frenching Draco sexily. Lupin gasped. Draco began to take all of his clothes off, and I could see his white sex pack. Then Vampire took his own clothes off too. They all began making out together sexily. I took off my black leather bra and my black lace thong and the rest of my clothes. Everyone took their Glocks out except for me. I'm a girl, lol. Oh my Satan Draco, I screamed as he put his hardness in my thingy. Then he did the same thing to Harry. I began making out with Satan and he joined in. Oh, MS, cried Vampire. Oh, Vampire, Vampire, I screamed. Oh, Satan, yelled Harry in pleasure. Lupin watched in shock. We took turns doing torture curses on him, 'cause we were all sadists. Suddenly, a big black car that said 666 on the license plate flew straight through the windows, and Snap was in it. Chapter 44. Author's note. Well, I have nothing to say, but everyone stop glamming, okay? If any gothic people are reading this, then you rock. OMG, I still can't wait for the movie. Tom Fletton is so hot, lol. I hope Harry will become gothic because my friend told me he is really emo in this book. OMFG, I'm leaving W pretty soon. I can't wait. This will probably be the last chapter until I come back. That's my car, shouted Draco angrily. But suddenly, it was revealed who was in the car. It was Snape. I shall free you, Lupin. But first, you must help me kill these idiotic dunderheads, he said cruelly from the car as it flew circumcising above us. Ebony, darkness, Dementia Raven Wayne must be killed. Then the Dork Lord shall ever die. You prep, yelled Draco. Then he looked at me sadly. I forgot to tell you, Ebony. Snape made me do it with him. I didn't really have sex with him, but he's, We all put our clothes on quickly except Satan. We were so scared, but Satan didn't change. Instead, he changed into a man with grand eyes, no nose, a gray robe, and white skin. He changed into Voldemort. I knew who thou were all along, he cackled evilly and sarcastically at me. Now I shall kill thee all. Thunder came in the room. No, please don't kill us, pleaded Vampire. Suddenly, Willow, Bloody Mary, Diabolo, Ginny, Dracula, Fred and George. No, excuse me, Fred and Gorge. Hagrid, McGonagall, Dumbledore, Sirius, and Lucian all ran in. What is the meaning of this? Dumbledore asked all angrily, and Voldemort looked away because Dumbledore is the only wizard he is scared of. He did a spell, and suddenly his broomstick came to him sexually. Voldemort flew above the roof, heavily on his broomstick. Oh my goth, Slugborn gasped. Get it? 'Cause I'm gothic. The Dark Lord shall kill all of you, then you must submit to him, Snape ejaculated menacingly. You, preppy, Sirius shouted angrily. I know a 4-letter word for dirt. Cruciatus, screamed Harry, but the sparks from his wand only hit Draco's car. It fell down. Snap quickly crawled out and picked up the video camera. Oh my God, I cried because the video of me in the bathroom, the video of me dong it with Draco, and the video of Satan doing it with, if you kill me, then these videos will be shown to everyone in the skull. Then you can be just like that gothic girl Paris Hilton, he laughed meanly. No, I screamed. FYI, I have the picture of you doing it with Lupin. What's she talking about? Lupin slurped as he sat in chains. I saw too. She's gonna show everyone the picture. Harry shouted angrily. Shut up, Lumpkin roared. Foolish ignoramuses, yielded Voldemort from his broomstick. Thou shalt all die soon. Think again, you muggle poser, Harry yelled, and then he and Diablo and Navel both took out our black guns, but Voldemort took out his own one. You guys are in a Latin standoff, I shouted desperately. Echo Neville's wand, cried Voldemort, when suddenly Neville's wind was in his hand. Now I shall kill thee all, and Ebony, you will die. He made lightning come all over the place. Save us, Ebony, Dumbledore cried. I cried sexily. I just wanted to go to the common room and my wrist with my friends while we watched Shark Attack 3 and Saw 2 and do it with Draco, but I knew I had to do something more impotent. Abra Cadabra, I shooted. And that is the end of My Immortal by Tara Gilesbie. The end. Finn, thank you for joining us.